You won't find bodies at Titanic. You won't find skeletons. The bones actually dissolve into solution very rapidly at that depth. What anybody who's explored the wreck finds is pairs of shoes.
Beneath the ocean's dark depths lies a world of secrets untouched by time. From ancient wrecks and haunting remains to whispers of spaceships and the Titanic's ghostly ruins. Join us to watch the most mysterious discoveries made in the depths of the oceans. Lost submarine.
A public hearing into the Titan submersible disaster has revealed the final text messages sent by those on board as they headed towards the wreck of the Titanic.
In June 2023, the Titan submersible tragically broke apart while traveling to the Titanic wreck site, with all 5 people on board lost.
I would like to ask that everyone present please stand for a moment of silence in respect to those persons who perished as a result of this casualty.
In September 2024, the U.S. The Coast Guard released underwater video showing the wreckage at a depth of about 3,700 meters. The video showed parts of the submersible, including its tail cone, and helped investigators understand what caused the disaster. The footage was shared during a public hearing to investigate the event and learn how to avoid similar accidents in the future. Giant heads. Like Atlantis, the city of Thonis Heracleion was once considered a legend. It was mentioned in a few old inscriptions and texts, but there was no real proof it existed. That changed in 2000 when underwater archaeologist Frank Gaudio was exploring the Abu Qir Bay near the coast of Egypt. While searching, he and his team spotted a giant face rising from the underwater shadows. Gaudio had discovered Thonis Heracleion, a city entirely underwater, located 6.5 kilometers from Alexandria's coast. The site is incredibly well preserved, offering a fascinating glimpse into life over 2,300 years ago. However, much of the city's history remains a mystery, and no one knows for sure how it ended up completely underwater. Unexpected finds. The deep sea has always been a place full of mysteries from history. This group of friends were exploring deep in the North Sea. Everything was normal, but then they saw something at a distance that they never expected. A German soldier's motorcycle, which was in well-preserved condition, but no one knew how it ended up there. Then they also spotted an anchor and a deep-sea mine. Seeing all this, they got the idea that this area was used by German soldiers during World War II. Ancient sword. In October 2021, an amateur diver made an extraordinary discovery off the coast of Carmel, Israel, when he found a centuries-old sword while diving in the Mediterranean Sea. The sword, believed to be around 900 years old, is thought to have belonged to a Crusader knight.
It's a real good preservation sword made of iron.
Experts identified the sword as being made of iron and recognized it as part of the Crusader era, a period between the 11th and 13th centuries, when the Crusaders fought for control of the Holy Land.
Actually, it's heavy. It's heavy because of the stones that glue to it. Also because it's iron sword and very big one.
The sword, which measures about 40 inches long, is remarkably well preserved, considering its age, and was discovered in a region historically known for its natural coves, which were used by ships during ancient times. Mysterious plane wreck. In 1960, an A-3 Sky Warrior attack plane disappeared during a mission off the USS Saratoga aircraft carrier, which was operating in the Bermuda Triangle. The plane vanished without a trace, and all 8 crew members aboard were lost. This incident was part of a series of disappearances in the area, raising many questions about the mysterious Bermuda Triangle. Investigations into the wreckage found that it was located underwater in the Bermuda Triangle. The wreck could provide important clues to help understand why the plane disappeared and if it's connected to other mysterious events in the region. The case remains one of the many that add to the eerie and unexplained mysteries surrounding the triangle. Piece of history. A diver went deep into the sea when he came across something truly bizarre. There, beneath the water, were two statues lined along with a well-structured floor that made it look like an ancient city. The statues had frozen, solemn expressions that gave the diver an eerie feeling, almost like he was witnessing something from another world. As he looked around, he couldn't shake the sense that he had discovered something incredible and mysterious. A piece of history lost to time. It was an experience that left him in awe, wondering what secrets the ocean was hiding. Deep sea giants. A group of friends in Greece believe that ancient giants once roamed the deep sea. They often went on deep sea explorations to investigate this, but they never found anything unusual. But one day, when they went even deeper than usual, they finally saw what they had believed in all along. Yes, I'm talking about the ancient giants, whose statues were found there. They were so well preserved and expertly crafted that they looked almost real. But these statues were even bigger than they had expected, and seeing them left them so scared that they decided it was better to leave. Japan's Atlantis. Deep beneath the surface of the ocean lies a mystery that has puzzled explorers for decades. The Yonaguni Monument, often referred to as Japan's Atlantis, is an underwater formation located near Yonaguni Island in the Ryukyu Archipelago. Discovered in 1986 by diver Kihachiro Aratake, it features large, symmetrical structures resembling an ancient city, complete with flat platforms, steps, and straight edges. Some researchers, such as Professor Masaki Kimura, propose that it was created by an advanced civilization over 10,000 years ago, possibly connected to Japan's ancient Jomon culture. Others, including geologist Robert Chuuk, believe the monument is a natural formation shaped over millennia by tectonic shifts and erosion. Lost alien balls. Be ready, fellows. The unknown is among us. Harvard professor Avi Loeb, during his $1.5 million expedition, discovered a mysterious meteor.
But a group of researchers at Harvard University think they may have found alien technology here on Earth.
He believed that the meteor either had an interstellar origin or was designed by an advanced extraterrestrial civilization. Upon surveying, it was mentioned that the 0.5 millimeter in size iron balls were made out of steel titanium alloy, much stronger than iron found in ordinary meteors. Loeb carefully packed them in a suitcase and exported them to a science laboratory in 2019. The otherworldly fragment was named IM-1.
Outside the solar system was 60 kilometers per second, faster than 95% of all stars in the vicinity of the Sun.
For its intense velocity of traveling 95% faster than other stars, and exploding quite lower in the Earth's atmosphere. Mayan relics. In 2018, a team of divers uncovered the entrance to the world's largest cave system in Mexico, stretching an astonishing 216 meters. But this isn't just a geological marvel. It's a portal to a forgotten chapter of history. This cave system revealed pre-Hispanic archaeological sites of the ancient Maya, hidden shrines, and fossils of giant sloths. Yet, the most astonishing find was the nearly complete skeleton of a teenage girl, believed to be one of the oldest in the Americas.
Never in my wildest dreams did I think I would be telling anybody we found a flooded prehistoric mine.
For the ancient Maya, certain caves were considered sacred pilgrimage sites where priests could go to communicate with the gods. But that's not all. Some were sites of sacrifice, like the chilling Midnight Terror Cave, where the bones of nearly 10,000 sacrificed children lay, offerings to Chuuk, the god of rain and lightning. These 2020 discoveries have rewritten the history books, providing a glimpse into a world that thrived years ago in America. Smoking rocks. an unrealistic beehive, or an astonishing structure of geography, this giant black hydrothermal venting rock will definitely strike its viewers with awe. From the scientific perspective, this rock comprises one of the most life-fascinating chemosynthetic-based mechanisms. It, unlike other organisms, is not dependent on photosynthesis. Do you think 40 degrees Celsius is a hot temperature? Wait and watch until you witness it emitting smoke with a minimum temperature of 300 degrees Celsius. Surprisingly, the tiny animals and insects around enjoy crawling on the surface of this dark chimney. However, the exponentially growing white algae and amoeba make us remember none other but SpongeBob SquarePants. Titanic shoe remains. Even after decades, researchers are still on a quest to search the Titanic wreck for signs of the lost souls who once sailed on this iconic vessel. While human remains are elusive, a chilling discovery stands out: the remarkably preserved leather shoes.
Then when you go across the debris field, you come across these pairs of shoes.
Among them is a pair retrieved by the divers that belonged to a young boy. The sergeant who was responsible for guarding the belongings of the victims was too emotional and didn't have the heart to burn them. They remained in his office drawer for 6 years until he retired. The identity of the child remained a sad riddle until advanced technology identified him as Sidney Goodwin, a 3-year-old boy traveling with his family. The Titanic may rust away, but its allure, like Sidney's tiny shoes, shows no sign of fading from our collective imagination. Scented Man. The generation of today knows Paris as the city of fragrances, but this story is of the time when New York was the hub of perfume shops. Adolphe Salfeld, a 47-year-old perfume seller from Manchester, boarded on the Titanic to travel to America and introduce the best of his perfumes. Adolphe, fortunately, survived the calamity, but his bag full of scents was lost during the tragedy. However, during research, his leather bag with 65 perfume bottle samples with 3 missing was found lying deep on the ocean's bed.
Perfume vial with a stopper inside.
Many of them are intact, and a few cracked bottles still allow to smell the centuries-old fragrances. 390904 Puzzle. The construction, working mechanisms, and structure of the Titanic have always been a major subject of discussion by curious Avengers. On analyzing the wrecked ship, the number 390904 was found scrambled on its sidewall, which led to a flood of commentaries. Out of many, the most canny was the one from a religious perspective. They blamed the Protestants for having done this on purpose, and now we're bearing the consequences of their blasphemous action. However, a few had their interpretation according to the odds and even numbers, inculcating their theories of good and bad luck charms, leading to a plethora of confusion, but still keeping the mystery of Titanic intact. Megalodon Tooth. This part of the video discusses a team that sent submarines underwater and clicked an enormous number of 700,000 images. The purpose of those images was to construct a 3D model at Richard Parkinson's site. While dissecting the images, an elegantly beautiful necklace was found lying among the debris of the bedroom area of the Titanic. It was made of megalodon tooth hung on a gold chain decorated with blue beads. It could have been sold at a very handsome price if the agreement between the US and UK had not decided to not remove anything from the Titanic site. Bottle with a note. Evidence of communication was found 105 years later after the Titanic tragedy. A young third-class passenger, Matilda, had written this letter on the 13th of April. She, along with her 3 brothers and mother on board, had vanished from the scene completely after the sinking of the ship. However, the signatures made it clear that the letter was written by someone named Matilda. Interestingly, the handwriting style of the note did not match with the French handwriting of that era. The Canadian Shore is active in figuring out the authenticity of this note, as Nicholas Beaudry stated that computer simulations suggest that many items thrown into the Atlantic on that scary night ended up on European streams, whereas some might have been driven to North America. Sunken cargo. Everyone's a winner when it comes to exploring the water bodies, because you never return without a shocking discovery. This time, a dark blue cargo worth $300,000. Yes, you heard it right. $300,000 was discovered under the ocean and brought to the Australian shore. It is believed that the cargo sank during the massive shipping of 80 containers in 2018, when most of them, due to a tragic water turbulence, fell into the water and failed to be retrieved. It was nearly after 2 years when the remains were looked back, using underwater robots and special retrieval boats from Singapore. It is estimated that 11 containers have been brought back, filled with old tires and cardboard in huge amounts, proving to be a handsome source of income for the nearby fishermen. Interesting fact, the findings are coming for 20 million Australian dollars, but the ocean discoverers cannot stop themselves from scouting more and more. Sacred watch. If not the love letter, this love watch might impress you. The watch belonged to a nobleman called Senai, who had boarded the Titanic in 1912 with his 24-year-old beloved Miriam to pursue their profession in medicine. Hardly did they know that it was their last journey together. However, Miriam was among the lucky ones who survived due to the women and children first policy. The watch, still considered to be such a valuable object in an auction, was priced at $57,500. The watch is still sacred for history and religious lovers, as it has Hebrew numerals and the 10 Commandments of Moses engraved on it. Ghost ship.
This is an unusual phenomenon. A modern, fairly modern ship, a big steel boat.
Big steel boat, over 300 feet.
Right.
Yeah.
It just appears out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere. Ships of this size, it's nearly impossible that they disappear.
In the Caribbean Sea, near the island of Saba, there is a mysterious shipwreck known as the Ghost Ship of Saba Bank. People are still unsure how and why it sank, making it a fascinating mystery. Some investigations revealed that the ship may have been deliberately sunk by its owner. A salvage crew found a valve left open, allowing water to flood the ship. They managed to close it, pump out the water, and bring the ship back to Tortola. However, after the crew removed valuable items, the ship left Tortola in 2000 and was never seen again. The owner passed away in 2001, taking the secret of why the ship was sunk with him. Lost plane wreck. Mike Barnett and his team dived near the Bermuda Triangle, hoping to uncover the wreck of a missing plane from the 1950s. They explored a site known as the 540 wreck, and initially believed it could be linked to a Canadian Navy Banshee aircraft that disappeared in 1958.
With visibility at nearly zero, squadron leader orders evasive action to get out of the fog. As 4 planes go in, only 3 come out.
The Canadian pilot simply disappeared in the fog and was never seen again.
However, after examining the wreck, they identified it as an American plane.
There's part of the wing right there, I guess. Wow. Now, what kind of plane is it? That's what we gotta figure out.
Specifically an F-2H Banshee used for reconnaissance. Further investigation revealed that the plane might have belonged to Lieutenant Peter Mongiardi, a pilot who survived a near-fatal accident on the USS Lake Champlain in 1954. The wreck found by Barnett's team could have been linked to this incident. They told all this to his son, who hadn't seen his father since he was 8. World War II plane. In 1943, during World War II, a US B-24 Liberator bomber was returning from a mission over southern Italy when it was hit by an enemy. The damaged aircraft attempted an emergency landing near Malta, but crashed into the Mediterranean Sea. The wreckage was discovered in 2016, approximately 1.6 kilometers off Marsaxlokk, Malta, at a depth of 55 meters. Dives conducted in 2018 confirmed the presence of human remains.
Humility and honor drove every single one of us to go beyond the call of duty, to do our best to get this boy home.
In 2023, archaeologists successfully recovered these remains, believed to be those of Sergeant Newman. The cold water and low oxygen at the bottom of the sea helped preserve the wreck well. Pirate remains. Pirates, with their legendary stories of treasure and battles, still haunt the seas in ways we can't always explain. These scuba divers had come to observe fish behavior, but what they found gave them a glimpse of something from hundreds of years ago. I'm talking about a pirate whose skeleton was found on a sunk boat. In his hand was a sword, which suggested he had been involved in some kind of fight in his final moments. They observed it for a while, then decided it was better to leave the area. Massive cannons.
Look at that. My goodness. Look at that.
Turns out, pirates didn't just steal treasure. They also dropped some serious firepower. Rick Legina and his team, including diver Tony Sampson, traveled to Newfoundland in search of treasure connected to the infamous pirate Peter Easton. A notorious figure in the 17th century, Easton was known for his attacks along the eastern coast of North America. The team's goal was to uncover hidden riches linked to Easton's lost ships. During their deep-sea dive, they made an exciting discovery of 2 massive cannons lying on the ocean floor. These cannons were believed to be remnants of Easton's fleet, tied to the pirates' past activities. War submarine. The discovery of the HMS Triumph, a British submarine that went missing during World War II. After 81 years of mystery, Greek diver Kostas Thoctorides and his team found the wreckage of the Triumph in June 2023 near the Greek island of Donos in the Aegean Sea. The submarine was located at a depth of about 670 feet, finally bringing closure to the long unsolved mystery of its disappearance. The Triumph was a T-class submarine that had successfully completed 20 missions before vanishing in January 1942. It had been part of a mission to target enemy shipping routes, but after leaving Malta for a patrol, it lost contact with headquarters and was never heard from again. All 64 crew members aboard were lost. Ancient ship. In 2021, a team of underwater archaeologists carried out a mission to explore the sunken city of Thonis, Heraklion. During their work, they found some incredible things, like an ancient ship called a galley from the Ptolemaic period. This ship had sunk when huge stones from a nearby temple fell during a disaster in the 2nd century BC. They also discovered a large mound of earth, which held offerings from Greek merchants and soldiers who lived in the city long before Alexander the Great. These findings showed that Thonis Heraklion was a busy and important place. The city was Egypt's greatest port on the Mediterranean until it sank due to earthquakes, tidal waves, and the land slowly sinking over time. Underwater mystery.
Very unusual shape altogether.
The whole thing is.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I think the best thing's get in the water and try it out.
Let's try it.
A team of archaeologists and divers investigates the Bimini Road, an underwater structure in the Bahamas that some believe might be man-made, while others think it's a natural formation. The large structured blocks appear to be made of beach rock, which can fracture naturally into regular shapes. Some experts believe the blocks are around 3,000 years old, while others claim they are much older. An interesting aspect of the investigation is the discovery of granite blocks nearby, which is unusual because granite doesn't naturally occur in the Bahamas. Local accounts suggest that a captain in the 1920s, Webster, had brought cranes to the area to extract granite, possibly from the Bimini Road. WWII soldier. World War II ended long ago, but its remnants are still visible today, appearing in different parts of the world. A man was exploring the deep sea when he noticed something unusual. When he got closer to take a look, he was shocked to find it was a statue of a soldier standing with a cross. He had no idea whose statue it was or how it ended up there. Ancient statue. Sometimes the sea reveals its mysteries in the most unexpected moments. A group of divers from France was exploring the Mediterranean Sea, believing they were bound to uncover something connected to an ancient civilization. But after a long struggle, just as they were about to head back, they spotted a statue. When they got closer to take a look, they were stunned. It was almost exactly what they had been searching for. It was a statue of a queen holding a child, with a crown on the queen's head. Looking at it, everything suggested that this area belonged to the rulers of an ancient civilization. Salem Express. The Salem Express was a ferry ship that tragically sank in the Red Sea near Egypt in December 1991. The ship, carrying mainly Egyptian pilgrims returning from the Hajj, struck the Hindman Reef late at night while en route from Jeddah, Saudi Arabia to Safaga, Egypt. The impact caused a massive hole in the hull, and the ship sank within just 10 minutes, giving passengers little time to escape. Over 460 people were lost in the disaster. The wreck has become one of the world's haunted shipwrecks, with divers reporting eerie feelings, unexplained sounds, and strange occurrences at the site. Personal belongings of the victims, such as suitcases and toys, remain scattered in the wreck, making it a poignant and somber underwater memorial. Unexpected discovery. A group of divers were observing fish behavior in the deep sea when, suddenly, they noticed something unusual at a distance. At first, they had no idea what it was, but when they got closer, they were shocked. It was a statue of Jesus on a cross, and they had no idea how or when it had ended up there. The divers couldn't carry the statue alone, so they brought additional help with them. However, when they returned to the location, they were shocked to find that the statue was no longer there. It was surely a mystery in itself, one that wouldn't be easy to figure out. Spaceship in the ocean. Hold on to your snorkels, because what you're seeing down there isn't your usual ocean floor, but a spaceship wreck. Yep, that's the Challenger, the one that was supposed to boldly go into space back in '86. Well, it didn't quite make it. While filming the docuseries The Bermuda Triangle, Into Cursed Waters, some deep-sea divers stumbled upon the Challenger's remains off the coast of Florida. Imagine their surprise, finding something lost for a whopping 37 years. It's like a real-life underwater treasure hunt. However, it was rather a challenging time for the families of those crew members who got lost in the spaceship. Largest underwater sculpture. The Ocean Atlas is the biggest underwater sculpture in the world. It is in the waters near Nassau, the capital of the Bahamas. The sculpture was made by British artist Jason DeCaires Taylor and was shown to the public in 2014. It shows a young girl with her arms wide open, like she's hugging the ocean. This is meant to show the connection between humans and the sea. The sculpture is over 16 feet tall and weighs about 60 tons. It's made from special materials that help coral and marine life grow around it. Over time, the sculpture has become a home for many marine lives. Luxurious yacht. A luxurious steam yacht built in 1897 for industrialist J. Rogers Maxwell was known for its elegance and advanced features. However, its fate took a tragic turn on July 11, 1911, when it struck a submerged rock off the coast of the State Islands in Lake Superior, Canada. The damage caused it to sink, taking several crew members' lives. For decades, the wreck remained hidden. In 1967, a team of divers rediscovered it, revealing a well-preserved time capsule from the early 20th century. Today, the wreck is a popular spot for divers and maritime enthusiasts. Antikythera wreck. The Antikythera wreck, a trading ship that sank off the coast of the island of Antikythera in the Mediterranean Sea during the 1st century BC, has been a great archaeological site. Over the years, many ancient objects and treasures have been recovered from the wreck, though much still remains hidden beneath a heap of massive boulders, likely caused by an earthquake in the 4th century AD. Among the discoveries, archaeologists found a mysterious bronze disc, an arm from a statue, and the famous Antikythera mechanism. The bronze disc, featuring holes and an image of a bull, has sparked speculation, with some suggesting it might be of alien origin, though its true purpose remains unknown. Ancient relics. Deep beneath the South China Sea, a hidden collection of relics holds clues to an ancient history that has been forgotten over time. In September 2022, China carried out a remarkable deep-sea expedition in the South China Sea, recovering 66 cultural relics from underwater at depths of 2,000 to 3,000 meters. The discovered items included pottery, porcelain, copper coins, and ship plates, offering a glimpse into the region's maritime history. This was China's first underwater excavation at such extreme depths, marking a milestone in the country's efforts in underwater archaeology. The expedition used advanced technologies, including three-dimensional scanning and image data extraction, to help retrieve the artifacts. World's deepest shipwreck. Sometimes, the deepest parts of the ocean hold the most remarkable stories. In 2023, explorers discovered the wreck of the USS Samuel B. Roberts, also known as the Sammy B, at a depth of around 6,700 meters in the Philippine Sea, making it the deepest known shipwreck ever found. It was a WWII two-destroyer escort, famously involved in the Battle of Leyte Gulf in 1944, where it fought valiantly against a much larger Japanese fleet. Despite its size, it engaged the enemy with remarkable bravery before being heavily damaged and eventually sinking. The wreck was uncovered using advanced deep-sea exploration technology, and its condition was surprisingly well preserved. Unknown remains. Sometimes, the things we think are lost forever turn up in the most unexpected places. A group of experts were exploring the deep sea when they came across something they never expected to find there. At a distance, they spotted a plane that looked like it could be from World War II. When they got closer to take a look, they were stunned, as inside the plane was the skeleton of the pilot. It looked like the pilot had lost his life a long time ago for some unknown reason, as he was in a position that suggested he hadn't tried to escape. Chuuk Lagoon. Chuuk Lagoon is a place full of mystery, hiding secrets from the past. During World War II, it was a strong naval base for the Japanese Army. In 1944, the US launched a surprise attack called Operation Hailstone, sinking many ships and planes. Now, it holds over 60 wrecks, including warships and aircraft, resting silently on the ocean floor. These sunken remains have become a haunting sight for divers. Some say they hear strange sounds or feel like they're being watched as they explore the wrecks. The water is clear, and vibrant coral covers the old ships, making it look like a forgotten world. Each dive into Chuuk Lagoon feels like stepping into history, where the past still seems alive beneath the waves. It's time for today's open discussion. In 2023, deep-sea footage of a sunken passenger plane stirred confusion when some speculated that it could be the wreckage of Malaysia Airlines flight MH370, which vanished in 2014. The footage, captured by an underwater explorer in the Mediterranean Sea, showcased a plane's wreckage resting on the ocean floor. People on social sites started to believe it was the lost plane, as its appearance seemed similar to the one believed to have disappeared over the Indian Ocean. However, experts soon clarified that this wreckage was unrelated to MH370. The wreckage was identified as part of a different aircraft, dispelling the initial misidentification. MH370, with 239 people on board, has remained one of the greatest mysteries of modern aviation.